All right, everyone, let's get started. Pretty excited about our topic today, so I want to get going so that we have plenty of time for questions. Today, we're going to talk about social media, and we're going to think about this not only from what are some tips and tricks on how you could be more successful, but we're going to think about the generational personas that you should be considering in your social media strategy. I'm Robin in Tow. I'm the Vice President of Aesthetics, and joining me today is Marie Windehauer, and she is our social media specialist. And she does a lot of social media work for Nextech, and she has been with us for just under a year. It's exciting for us to have this role in our business now as we start to venture down this path and ensure that our users are starting to see the impact of how social media helps them. So let's get started. In the spirit of understanding where you can gain more online presence, Nextech has recently launched our first podcast called Aesthetically Speaking. So I've included the link here, but we'll also have it at the end of the program so that you can get that link so that you can start following us. All right, let's get going. So today we're going to talk about social media generational personas, and we're going to talk about those SEO and keywords, hashtags, and then content ideas. Interesting fun fact here. So there's 4.8 billion social media users in the world, which accounts for about 59.9% of the global population. Quite a number if you think about it, and it's growing. It's not something that's stagnating, and with each new generation, we gain more users, more feedback, and more ways to be creative about how we build our strategy around social media. So today, let's start with how we think about social media and the multiple generations that are in the aesthetics workplace today. There are actually 5 generations, and how we work and serve and understand and communicate with each generation is different. But in general, in healthcare, we don't think about this. We largely follow just one size fits all approach, which doesn't always work when you think about it. And so we wonder why we're gaining ground in some areas and perhaps not in other areas. And a lot of times it just means that we're not focusing on the right approach for the consumers that we're trying to gain and attract. So think about this, that there are no two consumers that are really all alike. So as we think about this, let's dig into some of those differences. So first, let's talk about those baby boomers. Again, baby boomers are born from 1946 to 1964, and their key social platforms are Facebook and WhatsApp. It always amazes me when patients will come in and they're not very comfortable using patient portals. I think that's a common trend in any practice. But it's interesting to note that they actually are the strong users of Facebook. So 83% of boomers use Facebook, but yet they don't like using the portal. Amazing little fun fact. Boomers also like to use social media to discover new brands. So 35% of them are looking for new brands out there. Another way for you to think about how you can get more awareness around your treatments and your products and just more about your providers is thinking about how social media is a branding site for you. And then a lot of boomers think about how social media is helping them improve their lives. They're not only using it to connect or stay connected with family and friends or renew connections from maybe that long ago friend that they haven't seen and talked to in many, many years, but they also think about how this improves their life. So whether they're looking for, new healthcare trends or ways to treat old things, it's just a matter of another important component of how they're connecting to you as a potential business. So Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980, and they're going to expand into more than just 2 platforms. They use Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. So these are going to be your generation that is still actively working. They're taking care of maybe aging parents and may have children they're still raising themselves. But 50% of Gen X say that they purchased a product that they saw advertised on social media. So think about Again, are you putting your products and services out there in social media so that they can gain traction? 74% of them use Facebook, so still a very high number of users on Facebook. Commonly, I'll hear practices are very focused on TikTok or Instagram, but Facebook is still very relevant. And then 60% use social media to get the best deals, often looking for discounts from brands. So while they may be your more loyal generation, they're constantly looking for where they can get the best deal. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about how you market to your Gen X. Millennials, 1981 to 1996. And they use Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There you have it again. Facebook is now among 3 of the 5 common generations that we market to. Millennials spend over 2 hours a day on social media. That's a long time if you think about it. 47% of them use this to learn about new trends. So again, going back to what we just saw with your Gen X, this is also a generation that really focuses on how they can learn about new trends, new treatments, things that are going on out there. And then 72% state that social is an essential part of their lives, how they connect with family, friends. They just use it to keep up with everything. More about how they know what's going on in the world today. So millennials appreciate brands that prioritize customer responsiveness. I thought this was an important call out, especially since millennials are your common ground. They're probably going to span a higher percentage of your patient base. And this generation particularly places a very high value on brands that create original content. They really want content that is unique, it's authentic, and meets their needs. They're looking for direct engagement as well with that authentic content. So think about that when you're thinking about your strategy. You don't want something that's just overused as well as used by everybody else. All right, finally, let's look at Gen Z. So Gen Z, 1997 to 2012, and their key platforms are Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. So notice Facebook isn't even part of this any longer, and now we've ushered in TikTok, which is honestly one of the more surprising things that I see out there. In fact, I was reading a stat that 40% of Gen Z consumers actually find their physician on TikTok. It's an astonishing number. Anyway, this is the generation that grew up with social media and e-commerce. They haven't really known anything else when it comes to how they connect, how they relate. In fact, they don't even know what snail mail is really. And this is also how they tend to understand and find new brands, and e-commerce is very important to them. Think about Amazon. This is just how they shop and how they probably will continue to shop. So 42% of them find the most memorable brands to be those that are actively responding to their customers, meaning that they're not waiting or actually ignoring them. They're focused on responding to their customers in a timely fashion, or even prospects, think of it that way. And then 40% of Gen Z believe that Google search results are nothing but organic. They think it's all staged. And so they choose social media over Google. So again, going back to how it's all shifted into where they're going to find all of their new brands, purchase new products, find new providers, and they may not be as loyal because they may find someone that's more relevant when they're actually searching through their social media feeds. All right. So we're going to turn this over to Marie, and she is going to talk to us about how we can actually focus on our strategy a bit better. Marie?
Thank you so much, Robin. So hello, everyone. Today, I want to dive into something that's absolutely crucial in a digital world, especially if you're looking to get your content out there, seen by the right eyes. I'm talking about SEO, search engine optimization. So now this might sound a little bit technical, but hang in there with me. It's all about making your content more visible. Now let's go back to the other slide, please. Yeah. So it's all about making your content more visible. like more discoverable when people are searching online. You see, when we're talking about social media platforms, it's not just about posting what you feel. There's a bit more of a strategy involved, especially with the words you choose. Those are your keywords. So think about it when you go to search for something online. What do, you type in some words, right? So those words you type, they're what we call keywords. Now here's a little trick. Next time you're about to post something, start typing in the search bar of your social media platform. You notice some suggestions that pop up, and those suggestions are really gold. They tell you what people are searching for, what's trending. But here's where it gets interesting. You want to find those words that a lot of people are looking for, but not a lot of content is out there yet. So it's like finding a hidden treasure that everyone's searching for but hasn't found it. They call it low-hanging fruit in the SEO world. So the question is like, how do we find those low-hanging fruits? So there's some really cool tools out there. One is like the Google Keyword Planner or SEMrush. Like those tools help you find words people are actually searching for and how crowded the field is with competitors. There's also a really cool tool. It's called hashtagify.me. It's like a great tool to help you pick out popular hashtags that aren't too packed with competition yet. And also important is like analyze your competitors, see what keywords your competitors are targeting and how well they're ranking of them. So you take those words, those valuable keywords, and you wave them into your post, your caption, and also in your bio. Of course, it's really important. It's like leaving breadcrumbs for your audience to find their way to your content. So when they do that, it's pretty much like a win-win situation. They find what they're looking for, and you get your content in front of the eyes that matter most to you. So next time before you press the post button, just take a moment, think about your keywords, and it might just be the key to unlocking like a whole new audience for your content. All right, next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit more about hashtag strategy. So for Instagram, you could use up to 30 hashtags on this platform, but Mosari, that's the CEO of Instagram, recommends only using 3 to 5 hashtags. So less is more in this case. This information comes directly from Instagram. This might vary for every social media platform, so just do your research. Now, when it comes to the algorithm, picking the right hashtag can be a game changer. It's about making your content more visible and getting it synced with what the platform's algorithm likes. So the key takeaways, being smart with your hashtags and keywords isn't just about throwing them in there. It's about like strategy placement, making your content not just seen, but relevant and engaging to the people you want to reach. It's, like the fine tuning a radio to get the clearest signal. Next slide, please. So this graphic comes directly from Instagram. They posted that, and they're just hashtag do's and don'ts. Like, for example, use hashtags that are relevant for your content, and also like check what hashtags your fans are using or what hashtags your friends are following, and only use 3 to 5 hashtags. So do not use hashtags that have nothing to do with your content. So like, for example, you're a med spa, and the hashtag dog or like pets gets a lot of use. And if you use that for your med spa content, the algorithm will show your content to people that are really interested into dogs, for example. So like next time when the people like go scroll through your Instagram and they see your content, but they're actually expecting content about pets, they're not going to engage with your content because that's not what they're looking for. So they keep scrolling. So there's like zero engagement in there. And also Instagram has started to ask you if you're interested in this content. So if people click no, it's really, really bad for your algorithm. So the algorithm thinks, okay, people do not like this post, they're not engaging with it, I'm not going to show it to other people. So really important, only use hashtags that are relevant for your content. All right, next slide, please. All right, let's talk a little bit about content ideas. Introduce your stuff. So how can we connect with our audience? It's important to bring the human touch to your aesthetic practice. So, and what matters most, what is a better way than by putting the spotlight on your incredible team? Like each person in your team brings something special to the table, like their unique skills or their personalities. It's what makes your practice what it is. So why not introduce your amazing team to your followers? Give them like a little behind the scene look, like who's making all the magic happen. It's like lifting the curtain and showing the faces behind the brand. So it isn't just about names and titles, it's about their stories, their journey, and like the passions that drive each person in your team. And everyone's got something unique to offer. So a special skill or personal touch that they bring to their work. So highlighting these not only showcases the diversity and the talent with your team, but also makes everything you do a little bit more like relatable to your clients. It's all about like creating those personal connections. When your clients see and hear about the people taking like care of them, it adds a whole new layer of trust and comfort. It's like they're not just walking into any practice, they're like coming into a place where they're known, where there's a sense of like familiarity and care. So the bottom line is we want our clients to feel at ease, to know that they're in good hands, not just because of the professional environment, but also because of the warm and caring people behind it. It's about building that trust, like that comfort level, making our aesthetic practice not just a place they visit, but a place where they feel connected to. All right, next slide, please. So another amazing content idea is sharing customer testimonials. There's something incredible powerful about hearing from others, especially when we're like making decisions. There's a statistic that says around 87% of customers read online reviews or testimonials for local businesses before visiting. It really puts into perspective how much weight we put on others' experiences, right? So let's bring those stories, like those testimonials, right to the forefront of your social media. Imagine like scrolling through and seeing real stories from people who have been where your potential clients are now. It's like having a friend give you the inside scoop, like building that trust. Important note, respecting privacy. It's absolutely crucial to make sure you have permission before you share anyone's stories. You want to honor like the trust they've placed in you, keeping that relationship worthy. All right, next slide, please. So let's dive into a strategy that's all about keeping your brand and center in the minds of your followers. Imagine this, like by posting at least 3 stories a day, you're essentially ensuring that your brand remains like a constant presence in their daily scrolls. It's like waving hello to a friend a few times a day. Make sure you stay on their radar. Now, think about the content you've shared yesterday. Why not give it like a second life by adding it to today's story? It's a simple yet effective way to extend the reach of your posts, making sure they get the attention they deserve pretty much. So how about sharing a reel that resonates with your audience? It doesn't even have to be your own creation. If it's something like you believe your followers will love, share it. It's about sharing content that speaks to them, content that entertains them or makes them happy. So also don't miss out on sharing your customer stories. So when they post something about your brand, it's like they're giving you a thumbs up. Like by sharing their content, you're not just spreading their message, it's like you're also making your bond with your community even stronger. Also, just get creative with your own stories, like whether it's a quick video or like a fun poll, a thoughtful questions, or like a handy skincare tip. These personal touches can really engage your audience. It's about, sparking the conversation, sharing insights, and adding value to their day, like in your own unique way, pretty much. Yeah, next slide, please. Also really important or really cool, just go live on Instagram. Why not take everyone on a little virtual tour of your practice? It's like opening your doors and inviting people in. like giving them a peek into where all the magic happens. Maybe you have something new to show, like maybe a new product or like a new treatment that's just rolled out. Share it with your followers. It's like chatting about the latest must-have or like the next big thing in your toolkit. Also, those questions that keep popping up, like either when clients come to your practice or in the comments on your posts, there are always questions people have. So why not use those questions in a Q&A session? Like go live and just answer those questions. It's like a really great way to also clear up any confusion beforehand and connect with your audience on a more personal level. All right, next is really important. Engagement is key. So let's talk about being active in your comments and DMs can really change the game for you. It's like when you take the time to reply, it sends this message that you're not just about broadcasting your stuff, but you also all ears. Like this kind of back and forth can turn someone who just casually scrolls through your content into like a really big fan. So when you start engaging with what your followers are putting out there, it makes them feel like they're truly part of something. So like they're not just another face in the crowd. Engaging with your followers' content makes them feel seen and like appreciated. It's also important for visibility. So it's not a secret that social media platforms love it when you're all chatty and engaged. It's like the more you interact, the more your content gets a little boost. So helping it reach even more people out there. Yeah, feedback. We all know feedback is like really important. So every comment or message is like a peek into what your audience is interested in, giving you some like solid clues and how to keep your content on point. And the best, when your followers feel like they're in on like this conversation, they're way more likely to jump on board with whatever you're suggesting. Might be like a new product or like signing up for a membership. It's all about making that connection that not just draws them in, but like keeps them coming back for more. Yeah, I think that's about it. Next slide. Yeah, so over the next week, we will send you over like a really super cool toolkit. So just keep an eye out. Once, well, like one of the highlights is our content calendar we've put together. So all you need is just to like click on the link and then make a copy. And a copy. It's pretty cool. Like there's all like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok on there, and then you have like a drop down where you can see it says work in progress or like done, scheduled, published. You obviously can change those drop downs, whatever works best for your practice. But so you have like an overview, like what you're planning to post, and it's not like too overwhelming. I'm like, oh, I haven't posted anything yet. I don't have any ideas. So you can just put throw an idea there in there, and it's pretty cool. And we've also rounded up about 150 Canva templates just for you. So these are like perfect for all those aesthetic holidays and like special occasions, like for example, the Lip Appreciation Day. So you can promote lip fillers, or like there's a National Bikini Day where you can promote laser hair removal. So yeah, just keep an eye out over the next week. We will send you the email with this cool toolkit. And yeah, I'm wrapping up.
That was
Do you
great,
have
Marie.
any questions?
Yeah, so if anybody has any questions, you can put them in the chat. And please do follow us. There's scan the link. But it doesn't seem that we have any questions in the chat.
No, I don't.
The goal was to keep this, relevant and short so that you as a practice could get back to whether it's lunch or other things in your day. We recognize that people just don't have a lot of time to give back to these webinars. So with that, I don't have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. One last look at our new podcast. And with that, we appreciate you attending. And as Marie said, it will be sometime later this week, and we will send out that toolkit, and you can rewatch this actual webinar. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.